People, welcome to another edition of that finger tapping frenzy that we all know and love as WWE SuperCard with me, Big Jim, here at BadLadDad HQ. Today, it's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday before a Wednesday, just for a change. That Wednesday is the start of Halloween. It's Halloweeny time. October 24th is when they're finally going to open up the Fusion Chamber, Le Chambre de Fusion. Long John Silver and the Pirates in the Fusion Chamber, down there, busy chiselling away on those Halloween cards. Now, have you got your eye on anything in particular? I know I have. Really do fancy that Page card. I'd love to get the Page SummerSlam 18 card. Now, I've heard a few people moaning about this whole event again. Just remember, these things are actually free with all the things you're chiselling away here with your candy bars. You look at these cards. Yeah, it's SummerSlam 18 and it's Goliath. It's WrestleMania 34. Now, okay, if you're in SummerSlam 18 tier, Goliath and WrestleMania 34 aren't going to be much use to you. But there's a lot of people out there who aren't in SummerSlam 18 tier, and this is an excellent chance for them to get themselves just chiselling up a few tiers. If you can somehow get yourself a pro, and when it comes to the candies that we've all been collecting over the last week or so, I don't think I've got about 3 left at the moment. Candy corn candy. Well, I've got 5 because I should have by the end of today. I'll have enough to make another candy bar. When you look at the candy bars, I'm not particularly been busting a gut to get these, I have to say, because I am in SummerSlam 18 tier. But I've got 26 of the little devils lined up here. Now it's going to take 8 of these to transfer themselves in, or reform themselves, or energise themselves, or fusion themselves, in fact, into a Halloween card. Oh, I can fancy watching a few cartoons. I need cheering up. It's been a rough day. I'll tell you more in a minute. Yeah, so I've got 26 of these already, so obviously I can get 4, assuming that fusion time isn't too long. Just looking at the mechanics of it, it's October the 24th when it launches. It runs to November the 7th, so you've got 2 weeks. Now, I don't know at this stage how many hours or days it's going to take to do one fusion. Hopefully not more than 24 hours, but if it is, okay. But as I say, I've got enough candy bars here without spending a single penny or cent on it, or dime on anything here. I've got 4, enough for 4 fusions there. So there's a chance of getting something useful out of them. But as I say, for the lower ranked players, this is an excellent chance to get yourself some decent cards, particularly if you're not even in WrestleMania 34 tier. If you're in Beast tier or one of those lower tiers, this is going to be brilliant news for you, fantastic news for you. So good luck with those. Just before I go on to my own cards, I was going to say a couple of things. Firstly, again, thanks all for your well wishes to Bad Lad Nan, my mum, who, following her fall and then a second heart attack that she's had, she's still very poorly, but she's on the mend slowly. So thank you for all of your messages, and we're obviously keeping a close eye on her. So there's that. And secondly, Ninja Boy has been going through all of his problems just recently. I'm afraid he now has shingles, which it's not life-threatening in any way, but it's very contagious, and it means he's got another period of school. So it's severely interfered with anything that we've been able to do on YouTube, and obviously my time has been taken up an awful lot with just looking after sick people, which is why you've not seen much of me over the last week or so. So apologies for that, but I'm sure you'll understand why. But then, of course, on top of that, very emotional scenes on Raw last night with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns declaring, as himself, Joe, that he's had leukemia, or been battling leukemia for 11 years, and it's returned. And so he's obviously got to relinquish his title and step away from WWE, and just that's the biggest battle he's got to face right now. He's got to kick the rear end of leukemia, kick that to the curb, hopefully, and then maybe see him back in the future, who knows. But I'm sure this is a time when you forget the characters and the personas that you see in WWE, and just on a personal level, I'm sure you all wish him the very best. And obviously, that's all we can do here from BLDHQ. Much as you've sent us some really good, strong, positive vibes for all the things that have been going on here, we're sending them all out to Joe, and I'm sure you are too. Anyway, I don't want to get too serious, but just a reminder that real life can actually come and smack you in the face now and again when you least expect it. I've got some proing to do. I've been very slow in doing certain things, which includes getting Kofi Kingston to a level where he was ready to go, and Shinsuke ready to a level where he could go. But I think they're okay now. I'm just going to double check. Always double check. You just never know. You just never know. You might have just missed doing a final top up on the stats. Let's not have any waiting on a network. No, don't do this to me now. Not when we're in mid-flow, just having a nice chat. Oh, some things never change. I've not had this for a while. I do tend to find when you're locking and unlocking cards here in the storage section, whatever you want to call it. It's not the catalogue, is it? Because your catalogue's where you've got all your things. So, right, here we go. It's just, I'm now completely paranoid that I didn't check properly. It's got all his 40s, 75 out of 75, all his tokens are in place. You can see how I've tokened him there. Right, so he's good to go. And he's good to go. So let's combine. Combine, my friend. Now, of course, for reasons that I've already outlined, time has not been in great abundance for me over these last few weeks, so I'm afraid I had to make a decision fairly early on with Rey Mysterio. I did start Road to Glory, but I didn't get very far, and it became very quickly obvious I wasn't going to be able to do anything about completing it. So I made the sensible decision, a real life decision, to step away from it. Of course, we do know, there's a slight difference in the way I've tokened things there. We do know, of course, or we're fully expecting, we are going to be getting a new, what's going on here? Both in war. All right, okay. Are they? Right, okay. I was thinking, what the hell's going on here? Sorry, I wasn't thinking what the hell. I was thinking, what on earth is going on here? I thought I'd cleared them out of all the various bits and pieces. Where are we? Well, the simplest thing to do here is just to autofill. That'll clear them out. You can obviously see where I've been powering them up. Right, that should do it, shouldn't it? Yes, right, let's go. Let's combine these boys. I don't know if I'll change the image or not. Anyway, I'll think on that. I'm not going to bother with Mr. Fish because I want to get back and doing some SummerSlam 18 fusions once all of this Halloweeny stuff's out of the way. So there's no point fusing him together to make a pro, because he's not going to do anything for me. So I'm just going to sit on him for a bit and then stick him back in the fusion chamber as individuals. Right, let's just put this on to SummerSlam. Yet more singles with, that was the other thing, Road to Glory. It wasn't even worth going for. Brock Lesnar would have been a single for me. The Uso that we're going for in Team Road to Glory, another single for me. It's just been the worst tier I've had for trying to get pros. I've not known a tier like it. It's just been single after single after single after single. I know you've just seen me pro 2 cards, but you know what I mean. There's some people in Team BadLadDad who've got a whole deck of Road to Glory SummerSlam 18 pros. That's the way that the cards have fallen for them. For me, it's just not happened. It has just not happened. Right, let's just feed him up. Let's feed him. Train, train, train. Hello, Alexa. Yes, of course, those Halloween fusions are meant to be just the top 3 tiers, WrestleMania 34, Goliath and SummerSlam 18. So, which will make a change from when you're going into these fusion chambery type things and it says could be anything from SummerSlam 17 upwards or what have you, because that, as I say, is going to help the lower ranked players grinding away to get all these candy bars to then get something that's below a tier that you're already in. When you're in a lower tier anyway, it must be highly frustrating. What am I doing? I've forgotten what I'm doing. I'm going to power up, aren't I? Oh, get with the program, Big Jim. Where should we go to? Let's just take some Goliaths out. What have we got down here? Stick these 2 in. Right, are we done? And so I suppose we'll put one more in. I've got so many different cards I could trade away. I didn't particularly want to stick a fully powered up one, actually. I've got so I really could do with the limit being lifted. I know it's a familiar old complaint, but could really do with the stick 2 in. Really could do with the card limit being lifted. There we go. That'll do the trick. Right. So, the question is, do we spread the love here as well? 3, 5, 9, 3. Yeah, it's 2, 3, 4. Let's make it 2 and 4, shall we? Just so he tops the 360s as a base stat. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Making him more of an all-rounder, big Kof. So that's him done, and I've got Shinsuke to do as well, haven't I? Shinsuke, or did I lock him down? Yes, I did. Right. Shinsuke, improve more. Train. Well, let's stick those 2 in while we're here. And probably a fully powered Goliath while we're at it. So, no, let's use trips. I'm trying to remember which ones of these I've pro'd, because it's quite nice just to pro a few cards that you haven't, just for your catalogue. Just for your catalogue. Right. Oh, yeah, we're going to stick to the 3 stats here with Shinsuke. Power is not his thing. There we go. I'm not an ability tokener, I have to say. There's too much chance involved there. I know that if you do get the token, you've got some ability and it does come up, then it's happy days. And with these, there's no really point cashing these in now. I'm just going to save these until we get into the new season. Season 5, which must be on the horizon. With all these things going on, it has to be on the horizon. If you remember, it was November last year when we had Season 4. It was the second week in November when it was unleashed on the world. It would be interesting to see if they've got anything new up their sleeves. We seem to have lost Last Man Standing. Now I've said that, they'll probably announce tomorrow there's going to be another Last Man Standing this weekend. But so it looks like they're gearing up for clearing the decks and unleashing some new things. What do you think? What do you know? Do you know anything? Have you got any inside intel on what's happening? I haven't. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And Team Road to Glory, we're just chiseling along nicely. I mean, we're in no rush, to be quite honest. We're not out to break any records. Look, there's nearly 8 hours left. So I'll just do a little bit of tappity-tappiness. I shouldn't even need to bother looking at what I'm doing with this. Yeah, so a couple of weeks, think about it. It would make sense if they're saying Halloween cards are going to run until November the 7th. It would make sense, and that's going to be a Wednesday, isn't it? That'll be a Wednesday? 24th, 31 days in October, 31st. Yeah, 7th will be a Wednesday. Just work that one out. Could have done that before I'd started filming, couldn't I? And a Wednesday is obviously a good day for bringing out new things, ahead of a Thursday start of a new event. So could Wednesday, November the 7th be a potential date for a new season? Could it be the week after, perhaps? I guess you've got to work through it. If we've got an event that's finishing this weekend, would they then start one the following weekend? You could do a Last Man Standing, I suppose. Actually, no, it would make sense to then do one more card after Ray, perhaps a female, a diva. Can't call them divas, can you? A female. We all know it's a diva. And then that would take us to the following week. So November the 13th, 14th, Tuesday the 13th, Wednesday the 14th, something like that. So that would probably make more sense, I would have thought. So, well, those are the potential dates we're looking at. November the 7th would be a bit early, though, because that would, you'd only be 1 week into a new event, so that makes that then unlikely, unless, of course, it is a Last Man Standing to finish us off. Or, they have done, of course, they've doubled up on the events, where they've started us off on a Thursday, you get to Sunday, and then they give you Sunday through till Tuesday to do the second part. So it's not unheard of, so November the 7th could still be a potential date. For Season 5. In terms of what they could bring in new, well, I don't think anyone would be too disappointed to see Last Man Standing disappear. PCC's long gone. I don't think we're ever going to see that come back again, which is a shame, because that was a good old grind. But I think that's long gone. So I really, 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 really hope they just don't do heroic anymore. Because doing Road to Glory through once now, after nearly 5 years, was it 4 years, 5 seasons? Or 4 years, 4 seasons at the moment, isn't it? Playing this game, just to do that Road to Glory through twice to get heroic mode, I've not done it now since, I can't remember. I was going to say Batista, but he was last man standing, wasn't he? It's been a while, I know that. It's been a while since I've done the double run through. It's just too time consuming. It's just too much. And there's nothing worse in SuperCard than you get to the end of Road to Glory on a Sunday if you've done the full-on heroic double charge, and then your team event on the Monday is another Road to Glory. It's just like, whoa, just hold your horses there a minute. That's just too much. It's too much for one man to bear. So I hope they reconsider this whole going through the double rate. I think they actually need to just back off with things like that and give us a bit more breathing space in between things. Fine, when the actual event's on, get you grinding to a specific target, but don't just make the same monotonous thing twice as long as it was previously, because it was boring enough after 4 years going through it once. And look at that Roman Empire, the big dog. Go on, son, you can kick that leukemia. So yeah, to have to do it twice over, it's too much. If anything, it's actually driving people away from the game. Because if you think it through, quite a few people now, you're always going to get the serious grinder who this is the main game, if not only game that they play, and they're going to get heroic mode come what may. Fair play to them, good luck to them. Then you're going to get fairly serious players such as myself, who after a while it just becomes a bit monotonous. But then you're going to get lower players who, when it comes to that final card on a Road to Glory, and you haven't to 2 point or even 1 point your way through if you're a free player, 1 point your way all through to the event card, you haven't got the time or the energy to then go through a second Road to Glory. And it puts people off. They start thinking, well, why bother? I'm not going to get the event card, so why bother even going for it at all? And then people lose interest, because that whole idea of attaining the top tier and the top level just becomes a step too far. And if you think, well, I'm not going to be able to compete with the big boys, so what's the point competing at all? People drift away. And I've had several conversations with SuperCard players, some of whom have been around for a few years, just had enough. They're going to keep an eye on what's coming out in Season 5, but unless there's some radical changes or a change of heart on this whole Road to Glory heroic mode, they're more than likely just going to call it a day. Some have already called it a day, which is a shame, because we don't want SuperCard to degenerate into just being people in the top tier all fighting over the best cards and trying to get the full heroic modes and everything, and all the lower players to drop out. You want it to be a full community thing where everyone can feel involved and enjoy the game. Otherwise, what's the point in playing? I mean, that's always a problem you've got when a game's been going for a little while. You've got to try and keep the top players interested, because they've been around for a while and they want to see new things and they want the game to be fresh. But equally, you still want to try and encourage new players. Isn't that funny to get old Kofi again? So there we go. That's my thinking. Could be November 7th for Season 5. There's a big chance, if you look at the way the planets align. And Halloween event will be finishing on November the 7th, and they could double up on an event to get it finished by November the 7th. If not, I would have thought certainly the following week will be the latest that we would see Season 5. Don't know, maybe I'll be coming back and have to eat my words, but that's what I'm thinking. That's well, the signs are there, the portents are there, the indications. That's what we can see into the future. Beyond that, the WrestleMania and Goliath and SummerSlam cards that are available in the Fusion Chamber. Long John Silver and the Pirates having their Halloween party early. from October the 24th, which is tomorrow, if you're watching this video on October the 23rd. If not, then obviously it's not tomorrow, and you might have already seen the event, and it might have finished, and this could be 10 years' time, and if that's the case, why are you still watching this? Anyway, thank you for watching it, and if you want to see some more, you know what to do. Subscribe down below, like the video if you like the video. Please don't forget those likes. It does help us to know that people are actually watching what we're doing. And of course, there's all the social media. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter. Till I see you next time, you stay cool.